All right, guys, so today we're doing the hardtack, and we call it Civil War hardtack, but it's actually way before that. So,
Okay.
we're going to let Amanda's got this recipe down pat. It's a very complex recipe.
Oh no, there's only 3 ingredients. I don't know if I can remember.
Yep.
Okay, so we're going to start off with 2 cups of flour. Now I just have all-purpose flour. I think back in the day they used the bleached flour because, you know, they had to keep the bugs out, keep everything sanitary. So, 1. Two.
We'll be making the Hellfire stew on the next video, and that's a stew a lot of the Civil War soldiers made out of this.
Right. A half a teaspoon of salt. And a half a cup of water. Now we might have to add more water or more flour depending on how our dough is. We're gonna knead it with our hands. Let me do that part.
Yeah.
Actually,
Some more water.
I'm gonna need some more. And a little bit more.
Looks dry.
Yeah, a little more. There we go.
I'm very unimpressed with these measuring cups, actually.
Now we're getting it.
It's like no matter which way you pour it out of this thing, it
Right.
goes all over the place.
Pretty sticky. You want to sprinkle some flour onto that cutting board.
Yep. I'm just the kind of guy that can make that happen.
What we're going to do is we're going to try to get this in a ball and roll it out. Yeah, it's pretty sticky now.
Need a little more than this.
That should be good for now. We're going to try to get to where we can roll it out really thin. Oh, and we have our oven preheated on 300.
So how long am I going to cook this for?
I think you're supposed to put your oven on 150 or 200 and bake it for like 2 hours, flip it over, bake it for another 2 hours. But
So what are we going to do?
for video purposes, we're going to try to put it at 300.
So we don't want to make it so hard we can't actually try it for the video.
We're going to bake it for a half an hour and see how they are and flip it and bake it for another half an hour.
We could always bake it longer
Right.
after to make the stew with, but
Yep. Here, you want to start rolling that?
do a little bit of that so the roller don't stick. I'm a huge professional.
As I say, when's the last time you rolled out dough, Nathan?
To be totally honest, I was probably 10.
Whenever we made probably homemade cookies or something.
Just a little bit more of that on there. Definitely sticking. We're trying to get this fairly thin for a couple reasons. The main reason it's not going to take near as long to bake it.
Right.
You think it's got enough flour on that to not stick?
I think so. Is it sticking?
A little bit.
Well, we got plenty of flour on the cutting board, so don't be afraid to use it.
All right, you got a pan.
Is that rolled out?
No,
Think thin enough?
but I'm just gonna try to get it from sticking on here.
Okay. And I have a cookie sheet here with parchment paper on it because I don't want it to stick.
Everybody keeps asking when we're gonna have our own cooking show. PBS, This Old House, maybe.
We've had some things that turned out pretty good and some things not so good, but you know what?
You know what we found out though?
Trial and error.
And when you follow a recipe exactly step by step and don't turn out, you kind of have to wonder, did whoever were watching, did theirs turn out? Probably not.
Right. But at least we're honest. We don't like lie about it. Say, oh, this is so delicious. No.
Like the Dr. Pepper video. It's not posted yet. By the time these guys see it, it'll be posted.
Yeah.
But I wasn't a big fan of that.
It was a big disappointment. I mean,
it was a little funky.
I was pumped up about it, but oh well, like I said, trial and error. Can't be afraid to try things.
Okay. I think it's probably about good.
Oh, yeah.
Try to get it. It's like so elastic, it's just going right back.
Right.
Okay. So you want to cut it on there?
Let's cut it on the cutting board.
Okay. So let's go through. I'm just going to try to get as square as I possibly can.
Try to clean up the edges and shape it up.
It's a wobbly pizza cutter.
Yeah, it's probably from the Dollar Tree.
I spent many years cutting dough back in my day. That's not true at all. All right, so let's do this.
I was hoping to get 8 of these, but we'll see.
Oh, that wasn't straight at all. It's all right. It's probably gonna be 6.
Well, that'll work. That's fine.
Eh.
Yeah, we'll do 6. I guess technically if you use this and roll it back up.
So we'll let you poke the holes in them here in 1 second. I'll get these on here, and then while you're stabbing holes in these things, I'll go through. It's like way smaller. Looks like a 5-year-old cut these. Okay, then while you're doing that,
you could get creative. You don't have to cut them in squares. You can take a mason jar lid and use that and cut them in circles. Just get creative. Okay. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a straw and just poke holes, not all the way through though. So we're gonna do 1, probably like 3 on each side. That just helps with the air while they're baking.
I present to you my masterpiece. The biggest master, look at that. Oh my gosh. So everything's pretty much the same thickness. We squeezed every little hardtack out of the clump of dough we had. And this one's gonna be ultra crispy, we'll call that, because it's thinner than the rest of them. Off to the oven we go. We're gonna bake these for 30 minutes.
It's been about 30 minutes. The tops are not quite like I wanted. I think we're just gonna go ahead and flip them over. Actually, they do feel, they're getting hard. Look like saltines. Yeah, we're just gonna flip them all over, put them in there for another 30 minutes.
This is after an hour. I tell you what, Amanda's thinking we're gonna scrape them off, but they'll pretty much take themselves off.
Oh yeah. I think the flour makes them look like they're not done, but they're done. Hear that?
That's kind of like every other one we've seen though, looks like that.
Right.
They're not necessarily brown. So we did not cook these to the extreme that you would if you're trying to store them, because we have to be able to like try them and we don't want to break her teeth off. And I think what she's gonna do is let these sit out for an hour or 2.
Yeah.
So whenever we make the Hellfire stew next, they are the full crispiness, I would say.
Yeah.
So these two here are thinner. We can see that. You want to try? Is it hot?
Oh, we could try this little bitty piece.
I mean, it smells like flour.
Are we gonna try it now or what?
Sure. Why not?
Here.
It's a little toasty.
Put that one back and we'll just break the little one or whatever you want to do. Oh my God.
Oh hell.
I say they're done enough.
Yep.
Now I'm kind of scared I'm gonna break my tooth off. Okay. Very hot. Hot. And they pretty much taste like nothing.
So
That's what we want.
you have to remember something though. Back then, people were a lot smaller than they are today. Back then, I'd be like some kind of crazy giant. What was the average height of people? 5'5" to 5'8", back in the Civil War time. So they didn't need as much food, I think, as like a large person needs. Not to say there wasn't huge people or large people like me, but they were almost all like Amanda size. Kind of a runt. And
You hear that crunching?
so this is actually more of a base,
Yeah.
right? So they also gave them the meat ration like we talked about. They have like little bread squares in a tin. They would give them salt, sugar, and various other things. So what we're going to do in the next video, we're going to take all the things they would give them, and we're going to make the stew from that essentially. Is it going to be good? I don't know, but it will be what they had in the Civil War time. So it should work out. Doesn't taste bad. It just needs, like you said, it has some cinnamon and sugar and not baked as long. Been really good.
Right, maybe a little bit more salt actually. But
Yeah.
You know what? It'd be fine because with the stew, it's going to be what we need. So.
It tastes essentially like a saltine cracker.
Yeah, pretty much. A non-salted saltine cracker.
A non-salted saltine cracker.
Yep.
But yeah, so that's going to be it for today's video, guys. Hope you enjoyed the Civil War area hardtack. And I would say overall, you know, it's not bad.
Yeah. All right, stay tuned for Hellfire Stew.
Yep. All right, see you guys later.